banking scam that bypasses two-step verification. I was quite astounded recently when I watched a YouTube video that explained how scammers have a method of bypassing the two-step verification that banks use. Here is part of that video.
What they're going to say is, play along with me. I'll say, Miss Barker, this is Aaron over at Chase Bank, and we've had some fraud alerts. Were you in Florida last week by any chance? Because we have some transactions in Florida.
No, I wasn't.
You weren't? Okay. Do me a favor. We have to send this to our fraud department. I just need to verify who you are. Can we send you a text message? And can you just read off the text message just to verify who you are, please?
Sure.
Okay. And the text message is sent. What's that verification number, please?
3271.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hold on one second. Okay. We have this sent over to the fraud department. Expect a phone call tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good day. Bye. Guess what? You were just hacked.
Yep.
As it was a US situation, based on my previous banking experience, I thought it would be less likely to happen in Australia. However, because Australian banks have made changes to automate the re-establishment of forgotten login details instead of using call centres to do it, that has opened a bigger opportunity for scammers. I've contacted my bank, Westpac, who have confirmed that the scam could and does take place. How the scam works. You get a phone call from your bank. The bank number or name shows on your phone. A person who addresses you by name says that their security system has identified suspicious transactions on your account. They may even say that you have been in such and such a place recently, which you have not. In other words, you haven't been in that place. They could say there are transactions on your account from that place. They may then ask you for some identifying information, such as your date of birth, to be sure they are talking to the account holder. They will then say they will send you a code to your phone to further identify you, which is part of this two-step verification. When you receive the code, they'll ask you to tell them what it is. What should you do? Should you do so? Having previously dealt with my bank, I would do so, as I have done so in the past. I asked my wife and she said she would also do that. When I asked my bank, Westpac, if they do ring customers about suspicious transactions and send them a code, they told me they do. So it would seem reasonable to give them the code. You may have been scammed. If you do give the person the code you received, you may have been scammed because they may now have access to your bank account. How? If you have a debit or credit card that has the bank name on it, card number, and your name on it. If you use those cards, even with tap transactions, it is possible for those details to be captured on a camera. Not necessarily a store camera. A person close by to you could have a hidden video camera. They have your bank name, card number, and your name. Know where you are or you were at the time, so could find out your phone number via a white page internet search or by various other means. Via VoIP, that's Voice over Internet Protocol, when they call you, they can make it appear that they are calling from the bank's number. This is called phone spoofing. Just before they call you, they will go to your bank's internet banking login and select the option for Forgot Customer ID and Password, or perhaps other options. They'll enter your card number and name, and if they have gotten it from all the other times your friends have wished you happy birthday on social media, your date of birth. but they won't go to the next step until they tell you they are going to send you a code. If they do not get your date of birth, as I said before, they'll ask you for it, and most likely you will give it to them as you think you're speaking to your bank. And this is typically what banks ask for authentication purposes. The scammer now goes to the next step on the forgot custom ID or password, which will cause it to send the code to your phone. You give the code to the scammer, who enters it into the screen on their computer that is asking for it. They now have your customer ID, or the ability to change your password, or the ability to increase the transaction limit, or the ability to authorize the transfer to a new person, depending on the option they chose. Next part of the conversation. In a very banking type voice, they may say thank you for telling them that information, and that they will ring you back after they have communicated to some other bank department that you have confirmed it, so that you confirm it was not your transaction. In other words, you've confirmed to them that these suspicious transactions aren't your transactions. But they may say to you that you have given them the incorrect code, even though the code they told you was the correct code. This could be how they move to the next customer code, from customer code, to password to authorization for a new payment. Or they could use a number of other techniques, which I won't go into here. They may correctly say, to protect you, your account has been blocked. If they've changed your password, they have blocked your account because you can no longer log in. This gives them more validation and more time before you realize you've been scammed. If you have been scammed this way, hopefully this information will pre-warn you so you don't get scammed. But if you do get or suspect you have been scammed, contact your bank immediately. My understanding is you should not lose any money, as you have not done anything to contravene the bank's terms and conditions. How to protect against it. The video where I found out about this possible scam suggests that you make some excuse and then ring your bank to confirm that they are the ones that you have been talking to. However, it's possible that at the time telephone banking is not available. Scammers always tend to ring when that's the case. In other words, when telephone banking is not available outside normal banking hours. Credit cards usually have a 24-hour phone number to report stolen or misplaced cards. I'm not sure if that number can be used to verify you are speaking to the bank. An easier way would be for you to use your internet banking and check the transactions yourself to see if any of them are suspect. My understanding is that all transactions appear on your internet banking and are initially flagged as pending. I assume that also applies to suspect transactions. The longer-term solution. The problem exists because banks have to provide a way for people who forget their custom number and passwords to be able to retrieve them. With modern phones and fingerprint authorization, you don't have to remember a username and password. You just touch your phone. You can't forget your finger. Neither can scammers get you to read your finger over the phone. As banking can already be done with an app that verifies that it is your finger, this should be extended to be used to verify yourself when you're speaking to your bank rather than the existing system of sending codes. Again, a scammer cannot send your finger. Double scammed. Whilst investigating this topic, I discovered there are situations where people have lost their money have been offered a service to help recover the money. However, Often these services are just additional scams. The victims just end up losing more money. The bigger picture situation. The utopian position would be where there is no scamming. However, as long as there's inequality and envy, scammers will always exist. Inequality and envy can be eliminated if there is a non-economic, non-market, non-barter society. But that's a whole other topic.